Maybe they'll use it, maybe they won't. But what YouTube is doing is they're actually sort of acting as an aggregator of these 200 stations to bring you news. Now, maybe the question is, what is the benefit to those local stations? Well, the benefit will be that they will share advertising revenue with those people who sign up and with those stations that they actually use the content for. Now, here's the thing. Nobody's going to see any money anytime soon because there's not going to be a whole girth of advertising coming in like, oh, local news, let's all sign up to YouTube and advertise there. So maybe after a while we'll see some content coming in because of the advertising money, but I don't think this is going to catch on, if you ask me.
If I was the station, I would not put anything from YouTube on my, because you're confusing my brand with somebody else's brand. You know, I'd much rather pay for the news that comes in, and I can brand it my news than trying to have another competitor on the show.
Branding is definitely a concern, and one thing that happens in news stations is they come up with their rundown and they order stories in a certain way that sort of helps to that branding. Sports comes first, sports comes at the top of the hour, whatever it may be, and that definitely does break into how stations brand their content. They will still be able to have all their, logos and all those little things all over the place, but they're using a smaller box. You're going to be seeing
courtesy YouTube.
You're going to see smaller things, and you're going to see YouTube everywhere else. So people will, instead of saying, last night I saw it on the news, they're going to say, have you seen YouTube? Branding, definitely an issue.
Yes, it's going to be a big issue. Folks, this is the best medical research story from India. They have actually come up with a vaccine that will take care of typhoid. You hear typhoid in this country, and it's like the mega news in the newspaper. But in India and other countries, hundreds and thousands of people die of typhoid. And of course, it's also contagious. To build a vaccine for that, they need to be given pat on the back. This is something fantastic, even though it is 61% effective. And that's pretty good. And that came out in the New England Journal of Medicine. I mean, that means this is now a fully researched and fully acceptable vaccine for typhoid from India. Congratulations. I think that is great.
A vaccine that will help 61% of the people with typhoid. That is a huge impact in the health of many countries, much like India.
Yeah, because this is a disease in the tropical area. This is in the water and in the food consumption. This will make a lot of people happy because I know in India, typhoid was pretty bad.
And now a baseball Bhangra update. A while ago we talked about the recent Giants versus Nationals game in San Francisco and how they had Asian night and they had people doing, dances and whatnot on the field. Well, it turns out that Chicago is taking a note from that, and they had their own Bhangra night. And here we have some pictures of dancing on the field, and apparently it was a huge success. 20,000 baseball fans attended this one night. Now, they weren't all Asian, I'm guessing, but why is this not really picking up in Washington? Well, I have some thoughts. Giants versus Nationals in San Francisco, and now the White Sox versus the Tampa Bay Rays in Chicago. All large Indian communities.
I don't know. Diversity is so popular. Why not have Indian nights? Try and invite them. And of course, Indians in return have to actually go. Some of them need to go, those who like baseball. And then they can have a Chinese night. And then they can have Vietnamese night. Latino night. And this and that. And get more people to get in the game. They need to invite them. Nationals are not inviting. We invite National. Come over here and talk to our people. Invite them yourself. I bet you there will be plenty of Indians who love baseball and will like to go. Recently we did Castle Tennis, where the owner of the Castle Tennis came here and invited the Asian Indians to come and watch the tennis. And I know a lot of Indians play. Some showed up, but majority of them were not there. They should be there. Maybe next year they will have a better participation than they had this year. Folks, this will be a great idea. Maybe one of the associations out there can pick this up, talk to Mr. Lerner, and see if they can arrange a Bhangra night at the National Stadium. I think it'll be nice.
Well, and I think it's also a great opportunity for a lot of organizations that do fundraising for Indian concerns. They can actually do fundraisers at that same night. I think that would be very interesting to people. Go and have baseball. Go and give to your favorite community that does good work in our community. Win-win for everybody. I agree, though. Come on to this show and tell us to come. I will tell you that you have totally won me over on the Castles thing. I'm not really into sports that much, but I will go next year.
Take you up on it. Folks, up next is our conversation with two lawyers that have conducted a study on South Asian Americans here in Washington, D.C. Name is Deepa Iyer and Nadia Firozvi. That's coming up next. And from both of us, we want to wish you a very best of the weekend. Namaste.
Namaste.